Hello everyone. Welcome to the course Reincarnation, the Kabbalistic Perspective. This is a course that I have been planning to prepare for you for a long time, and here it is before you. I hope you will enjoy the knowledge and practice that you will discover here. My interest in the subject of reincarnation began from observing lives of other people. I saw around me quite a few people who were born, raised, studied, got married, worked, started a family, matured, retired, very routine and drama-free lives, almost boring. I saw women whose entire career in life amounted to bearing children, housework, and raising grandchildren. I asked myself, what for? Does a person come into the world only to reproduce and continue the human race? Are there any other reasons why people spend 70, 80, 90 years on Earth? I began researching the subject of reincarnation in different religions. Most cultures believe that the soul is the inner core of every person and is eternal, and does not decay when the body dies. The theory of reincarnation explains what happens to the soul before and after it reincarnates in a physical body. The subject of reincarnation was considered a mystical field that was not widely studied until the 1970s, when Dr. Brian Weiss, a respected psychiatrist in the United States, published his first book in the field of reincarnation reconstruction or past life regression. Dr. Weiss developed professional methods for past life investigation and guided thousands of therapists around the world. He was followed by other researchers such as Dr. Michael Newton, Dolores Cannon, Ian Stevens, and others who published studies on the subject. Their books are famous all over the world, and I highly recommend reading them. But in this course, we will not focus on the studies of these important Western researchers, but rather we will review the subject of reincarnation from a Kabbalistic perspective. It turns out that Judaism has been dealing with reincarnation since before the time when the Zohar was written. Rabbi Chaim Vital published the teachings of the Holy Ari regarding incarnation in his book Sha'ar HaGilgulim, The Gate of Incarnations, at the end of the 16th century. The Ramban also addressed the subject of reincarnation in his book The Secret of Soul Inhibition, Sod HaIbur, in the 13th century. And Rabbi Menachem Azariah of Pano wrote about the incarnation of specific biblical and Talmudic figures in the 17th century. The subject of reincarnation in Kabbalah is based on the principle that the Creator created each soul with the purpose of undergoing developmental and rectification process, and ultimately return to the query of its origin when it is completely rectified. For this reason, the soul is clothed each time in a new human body, and through it undergoes its spiritual evolution. If a person has not had enough time to go through all his spiritual transformations and lessons that it had to go through during its lifetime, the soul is reincarnated again in new bodies that are born in order to continue its rectification. What must the soul rectify and why? You will discover later on. In the first lessons, we will talk extensively about the subject of reincarnation, mainly from the Jewish Kabbalistic perspective. And later we will perform reincarnation reconstruction in order to gain a glimpse into our previous incarnations, and also discover the deep roots of various issues that we are dealing with today, mainly problematic issues for which we have no sensible explanation. Sometimes we get stuck and don't understand why we suffer from ongoing problems that supposedly have no logical solution. Try to think for a moment about your life and the challenges you encounter over and over again. It can be in any area of life: health problems, relationships, conflicts and complications you have with a certain close person, problems with your livelihood, difficulty in finding a partner, any issue in which you repeatedly reach a dead end. Could it be that the problem actually started before this lifetime? When we practice past life regression, we begin to understand the root of the problem, and in the very understanding, the problem will start to resolve itself and healing will occur. Through reincarnation reconstruction or past life regression, we can see the complex processes that our soul has gone through throughout our lifetime. We can learn what started a certain event in the distant past, an unresolved issue or negative karma that rolls with us into the current lifetime, causing us difficulties and blockages. This is a wonderful process of meditative diving into previous incarnations, which will give you a lot of insights. We will do this in the last lessons of this course. In the next lesson, we will define in more depth the concept of reincarnation and the different approaches to the subject. So thank you, and see you in the next lesson.